And let's get to work on this next one. So first things first, question sentence. What is the sale price, everybody? What is the sale price? Remember, when we read the question sentence first, that really gives us the advantage that we need, what we're looking for. Sale price. Everybody, here's where we don't want to get confused. Here it says, a pair of jeans originally costs $450 and is on sale for 23% off. Everybody, the 23% that we see right here, answer me this. The 23%, it represents blank. What formal word could we think of to assign that 23%? The word off is after 23%. And so if we say 23% off, that's a 23% discount. Okay. Why does that matter? Well, the reason it matters is because when we think about our formula when it comes to percentages, the percent times the original equals the result. If we went ahead and plugged in 23% and this represents the discount, this won't get us the final answer because these two things, the percent and the result, they represent the same idea in whatever context you use it in. In this context, we plugged in the percentage discount. That's going to give us the amount of the discount. That's not what we're looking for. That is not. We're looking for the sale price. We're looking for the final price after the discount. That's what it's all about. So with that, everybody, let me show you two ways to solve this. And the second way is going to be so much faster. So here we go. The first way is just doing exactly what we're doing now. Let's take that 23% and multiply it by the 450. And if we were to do that again, that's going to be the amount of the discount. And we just need to subtract at the end. So here we go. 450 multiplied by the 23%. Move that decimal twice and we get 0.23. Going ahead and solving this, we get 0 multiplied by 3. 5 multiplied by 3, which is 15. 4 multiplied by 3, which is 12. Carry the 1 is 13. And then from there, we'll drop a 0 and we'll continue on. We have 0 multiplied by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. And then we have 4 times 2 is 8. Carry the 1 is 9. Add all of this together and we get 0, 5, 3, and 10. Bringing back 2 decimal places, we now have $103.50. So my party people, 103.50. Is that the answer? No, it is not. That is the amount of the discount. That's what we have to pay attention to. So what we must do, let me write this down over here, 103.50. What we have to do now is we have to go ahead and subtract the 103.50 from the 450, from that original amount. So here we go. 450. We'll have those zeros at the end for the cents. And then we'll add in the 103.50 over here. And we'll subtract. So once we subtract, this is what will get us there. But notice how long this is taking, right? Notice how we did all of this. Now we're over here to do all of this, right? So there's a lot going on. But let's go ahead and subtract anyway. And then I'll show you that faster way. So I'll borrow from the 5 and make it a 4 to make this a 10. The reason I did that is because I'm going to need to borrow again to make this a 9 and make this a 10. I know that's a lot, right? That seems so convoluted, but it is necessary so we can actually subtract. Not this over here, the 0 minus 0, but the 0 minus 5. That's why we needed that. So 10 minus 5 is 5. And then we'll keep on subtracting 9 minus 3, 4 minus 0, and then 4 minus 1. And there we are. There is the sale price, $346.50. So that would end up being answer choice A. And again, I want to show you the much, much faster way to get the final answer. So everybody, here we go. The way we're going to start this is just thinking about percentages in general. Because think about it. If we're plugging in the percent that doesn't represent the final answer, how can we get the percent that does? Well, just take a look. What we did here was we subtracted at the end. We just plugged in that percentage and we realized we had to subtract to get the final sale price. So we subtracted at the end with the values. What I'm suggesting is that we subtract in the beginning with the percentages. Everyone, when we discount 23%, that's subtracting. But what percentage are we subtracting from? From the original amount. What percent represents the original? Yeah, 100. 100%, that's the original. We'll subtract 23%, and that is 77%. This is the percent that represents the final cost. And guess what? We can absolutely use that percentage to get the final answer in one go instead of two. So let me bring this over here, make a little more room for myself, and let me show you what I mean. 77% multiplied by 450. The reason I know this is going to work is because, again, this percentage represents the final cost. So this will give us the final amount. Let's get to work here. 450 will multiply by the decimal. So that'll be 0.77. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just get to work. We have 7 twice, so it's going to be repeated. So we're good. 0 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 3 is 31. So we have 3150, and we'll repeat that on the next line. Starting with a 0 because we're working on the next place value. And so now we'll go ahead and repeat that 3150. 7 times 0, 7 times 5, 35, carry the 3. Then 4 times 7, 28, carry the 3 is 31. So again, just repeating exactly what we did, one place value over. Now that we're here, we add everything up, and this is going to give us our final answer. So I'll write this here in green: 0 plus 0, 5 plus 0, 1 plus 5, 3 plus 1, and then we just drop that 3 down. We had 2 decimal places, so we'll leave that right there. But there's our final answer. The same exact final answer that we got right over here. And again, way faster. We had one percentage and then one operation instead of doing 2 big operations over here. Save yourself some time so you can save time for the other questions on the test.